So I'm going to ask you a question right now. Your question, are you holding on to the past? And it's not just about community, and it's not just about industry. It's about people, it's about relationships, and what's happened in our lives. Are you holding on to the past? Have you mourned what you've lost? And this is where I'm going to go with this. Now, what do I mean by that? Am I talking about grief or am I talking about mourning? I'm going to make a distinction here. When we lose something, grief is our inner experience, our inner thoughts and feelings of that loss, okay? So we can have an inner grief. The mourning is how we express that grief. Let me give you a perfect and very personal example. Well, I mentioned my mom's health is failing very quickly. I'm losing my mom. And I wasn't ready for that. I always thought we would have a lot more time together and do the things, just little things. We used to get together. I'd come home from the airport and we'd stop at the Village Inn and have a bowl of oatmeal together. Just little stuff like that. So I'm losing my mom right now. And I know that. But I had never made room for the fact that I would lose her twice. I'm losing her once in the way that I've always known her, as her memory disappears and everything that she relates to and our past as that disappears. I'm losing her that way. And when she passes this world in her physical body, I'm going to lose her again. Now, intellectually, of course, I know that. I'm on the road, I'm touring, I'm going to airports, I'm on the stage. I know that. So I've had the grief of what that's all about. I only recently learned that I had to find some way to express that. And it doesn't have to be a big outward ceremony or a huge breakdown in the shower with alligator tears or anything, although for me, that's kind of the way it happened. But what I found was this: my body, physiologically, my body began to respond to my grief that had not been expressed as mourning. I'm a healthy man, and I work hard to be at my best so that I can be at my best for you. When you and I agree to meet on a stage somewhere in the world, my promise to you is that I will be present, focused, and at my very best, and we can then share whatever's going to come through in that day. And I have all kinds of routines and rituals that I go through to help me be in that place. Things began to break down. And it's interesting because as long as I was on stage, everything was okay. And it was when I went home for 10 days, I said, okay, now I've got 10 days off. My body said, 10 days off? Cool. You don't have to be on the stage, no cameras, anything like that. How about a breakdown right now? So it was unexpected. So what began happening for me, it was very physiological. It was heart palpitations and anxiety and things like that. And I said, I've never had this in my life. And I noticed a pattern, being the pattern recognizer that I am. Sometimes I'm a little slow on the uptake. I noticed every time I would go to visit my mom, by the time I got home, I would start having these problems. And I said, could they be related? Well, I'd gone for a physical, and of course the doctor, I tell you exactly, they want to start throwing a bunch of drugs. And I said, thank you for your opinion. I've never taken them in the past. I think the side effects would be worse than the drug. So I began looking at some alternative kinds of things and people that could help me. And they very quickly helped me understand that I needed to acknowledge, it's not enough to know it, I needed to acknowledge that I'm losing my mom twice. And as soon as I did that, literally the day that I allowed for that acknowledgement, all the symptoms disappeared.
Hat dir dieses Video gefallen? Gib uns ein Zeichen und lasse einen Daumen nach oben da. Bist du interessiert an weiteren solchen kostenlosen Videos? Dann abonniere unbedingt unseren Kanal und drücke die Benachrichtigungsglocke, denn nur so stellst du sicher, dass du kein weiteres Video verpasst. Danke dir und bis zum nächsten Video.